The final game of the weekend in the Big 12 is Arizona State taking on Colorado. So, you've got two teams that have been trending in very different directions. The Colorado Buffaloes host the Arizona State Sun Devils. The Sun Devils are 7-3. Following a comeback win against West Virginia, they've won 2 in a row, 3 of their last 4. Meantime, the Buffaloes are 3-7. They've lost 3 in a row. Most recently, after the bye, prior to that, they lost to West Virginia 29-22. Arizona State's a 7.5-point favorite in this game. So here's what I'm looking at in this one. Colorado has to pass the ball to win. You need their true freshman quarterback, Juju Lewis, to have himself a big game. He was pretty solid in his first start last week against West Virginia. At least they didn't get blown out. The 2 games prior, Colorado was getting smoked by a combined score of 105-24. They were at least competitive against West Virginia. Juju gave him some juice. He showed impressive poise as a freshman, all with a depleted offensive line, and I'll get to that in a second. He took 7 sacks, 15 tackles for loss, but he hung tough. Colorado's only hope is to pass, and pass some more. That's where Arizona State has been vulnerable at times this season. What does that mean? It also means a career game would be needed from Juju, who's only a freshman. And he's got to utilize those weapons. Amarian Miller, Joseph Brown, Sincere Brown, more guys like that have got to get out there, and they've got to have big-time performances and make some big-time plays. That's their best chance to pull off the upset. For Arizona State, get to the quarterback. Colorado is going to lean on the passing game. That sets up Arizona State for success. Their defensive line has been as good as any this side of Texas Tech. They are second in the Big 12 with 27 sacks this season behind only the Red Raiders, tied with Utah and 2 ahead of West Virginia. That's where they are going to have to win this game. They've got to get to Juju. They've got to get in that backfield. Colorado's offensive line has had issues all season long. They've given up the most sacks in the Big 12, 31 in 10 games. That's where Arizona State's defensive front is going to be able to feast. And then Jeff Sims has to just keep doing what he's been doing. The quarterback for Arizona State keeps getting better. He had his best game yet last week, 200 passing yards, 80 rushing yards in that comeback against the Mountaineers. And I think that this game, from a strengths and weaknesses perspective, sets up beautifully for Arizona State. It's just the kind of game that works in their favor in terms of their strength and Colorado's weaknesses. And that's something right now that if you're an Arizona State fan, you're looking at and you're saying, man, I know that, we're going on the road here. I understand all that. But holy cow, this is a golden opportunity for us to stay in the Big 12 championship race, to try to defend our title, and to put ourselves in the spot where we can go there, get a win, and get it convincingly. And that's what I believe is going to happen on Saturday. So I am going to take Arizona State minus the 7.5. I feel good about it. I actually think they're headed towards a pretty convincing win by a final of 31-13 for Arizona State. Their rushing attack is 5th in the Big 12, going up against Colorado's last-ranked Big 12 rushing defense, which gives up over 200 yards per game on the ground. That bodes well for Jeff Sims and his run-first approach. So give me Arizona State taking care of business with a big win against Colorado, 31-13, covering the 7.5 points. I'm Pete Mundo, Heartland College Sports. Thank you, as always, for joining us on the show. Subscribe to the channel. We love you. We just want you to share this with other Big 12 fans. Help us grow this baby. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy the games. We're back on Sunday for the reaction show. That's why you want to be subscribed. We'll talk to you soon.